everyone, welcome back to my Flosstube. We're on number 7 already, which has come around really fast. I'm slightly later recording this week because things happened and it was too hot over the weekend to record, so I didn't. I usually record at the weekend, then spend some time editing, and then it goes up on Wednesday. So I can't imagine it made that much difference, but I'm actually recording on Monday night because it was so hot on Sunday that I bought an aircon unit, which arrived today and has been fantastic. It actually made the house livable today. We live on the top floor of a block of flats, and it gets really, really hot in our flat. I mean, hotter than the actual air temperature outside sometimes, and it is just awful. I'm not very good with hot weather, so it's been really nice. It's meant that today I've actually been able to concentrate on work, and yeah, so basically spent the entire weekend, well, something very exciting happened at the weekend, which was also another reason why we couldn't record, because things got busy. But also, then I spent all of Saturday afternoon and most of Sunday just lying in bed because it was too hot, and that side of our house is way cooler than it is in here. So I lost loads of stitching time, which I'm quite sad about. But anyway, it's fine. It was too hot anyway. My hands would have been, gross. So no hot drink today because it's summer and it's hot, so I have fizzy water, and I hope that you can't hear it fizzing. Anyway, quite a lot to get through, so we'll crack on. I wanted to talk to you about Dee's 20 Stitches, who started Flosstube. Dee is fantastic. They have some amazing finishes and projects on the go, and they're a lot of fun to hang out with, so go check out Dee. They're amazing, and the first one went up earlier this week. You might be able to hear Chris typing in the background. They're modding a stream at the moment, so again, sorry if you can hear that, but this is not normal recording time. Life is hectic at the moment. So I want to show you a previous finish, then I want to show you someone else's previous finish, then I'll crack on into whips. So, oh god, everything's gonna fall off. No. This is my previous finish. So this is window. Be kind to me. This is The Light by Barbara Anna. On this side I'll have better luck with the reflection. It is a free pattern that you can get from her Instagram, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's a wizardy fox carrying a lantern and with a key, and it's super cute, and I framed it myself in this really nice frame, and it hangs in our bedroom, although we'll see where it goes when we move, because we'll have different wall spaces. I used some metallic thread, so in the skirt area I used some DMC diamant, which I hate, and for the metallics in the lantern and the key, I used Petite Treasure Braid, which I love, and I would really recommend, if you're going to use metallic thread, just buy Petite Treasure Braid. It's so much nicer than certainly Diamond. I've not used Krynic, but I've not heard good things. Yeah, I love Petite Treasure Braid. It's not as easy to stitch with as DMC standard cotton thread, but it is significantly easier to stitch with, certainly, than Diamond. So I would really recommend it. Anyway, I changed the colours on this, so I changed the dress from being purple to blue because I wanted to stitch on purple fabric. I changed the colour of the berries. I also put the metallic threads in, they're not in there originally. The fox colours are the original fox colours, I believe, although I may have changed them ever so slightly to use colours that I already had. But keeping the vibe of the original, and yeah, I really love how this turned out, and yeah, really super happy. I put in different leaves colours because I just wanted to use ones that I had, so love it, love it, love it. It's called The Light. It's by Barbara Anna, and you can get it for free on her Instagram. And it's stitched on 32 count Zweigart merino in a purple. It's purple. We swap. There are some Facebook groups for cross stitchers to sell their things, and someone was selling some cross stitchers that their late mum had done, and so this one I was like, I don't think I'd ever commit to stitching this, but I really love it. And she posted it to me from up near Leicestershire, and again I'm gonna hold it on this side, and I love it. Oh, it's a unicorn. It's a full coverage unicorn. It came framed. I think it's beautiful. It's going to go up in our house somewhere, and I think everyone has that thing of like, where do your cross stitches go when you are dead? Maybe everyone doesn't have that, but like, I have thought about it, and I like the idea of giving someone else's cross stitches a home, and it's beautiful. And someone obviously put a huge amount of time and effort into this because, again, it's full coverage, so it would have taken a fair amount of time. And also, you can't see this, but the glass on the frame is quite dirty. Someone obviously let their dog run on it, so that was quite cute. So that was that. I had a finish. I finished Dreaming Person. There they are. No, this side. I was going to put myself on one side and then hold things up on the other, and I failed miserably. So, there is Dreaming Person. I'm honestly so happy with how this turned out. It looks amazing. All the changes I made, I love. It was mostly colours. And I noticed actually, when I was looking at it in more detail, that the way this fabric is dyed, it's warmer colours on this side, like there are browns in the fabric, and then cooler colours on this side, like it's purples and whites. And that actually really mirrors the colours that I put into the background. So it works really well. And I'm really happy with it. Yeah, I now need to figure out how I want to finish this. I'm running out of like availability of wall space and potential wall space for framed things, so I need to figure out what I'm actually going to do with this and what I'm going to do with Dreaming Frida, because they're done on the same fabric, so they are a pair. So yeah, I love them. Again, this is a pattern by Barbara Designs. The actual pattern is called Dreaming Girl. My version is Dreaming Person. They are designed to be representation of a gender fluid person, not every gender fluid person. I do not speak for all of us. And a few details that I changed. I obviously changed the hair colour, put in the pink. I changed the houses down here to be purple. I changed the ships to be purple. I changed the moon to be silver. I changed her t-shirt to have a rainbow on it. Not her t-shirt, their t-shirt. To have a rainbow on it. I changed the windows in the houses up here to be brown instead of black, so they weren't quite so harsh. I changed the colour of the roofs. I changed the colour of the seagulls. I made the clouds half stitched so they looked more airy. I changed the eye colour of the moon and the sun. I mean, we're getting into semantics now. There was a lot of little things, but I think they all came together really well, and I'm really happy with it. And I think they will look fantastic when however I decide to do it. And I will sit on that and think about it for a while, and I definitely won't do it until we move, because it's much easier to transport rolls of fabric than it is to transport anything. I mean, I suppose like if I made it into a bag, it would be very easy to transport, but still, this is very easy to transport. That fabric is a hand-dyed fabric from Chromatic Alchemy. It's a 27 count Linda. It was from her pre-dyed section, and it's in E-dye, which means that it is a eco dye, but it's a one-off, so unfortunately you couldn't go and purchase that fabric anymore, although I'm sure if you took a picture of it and sent it to her, she could dye up something very similar. She is fantastic, and I really would highly recommend Chromatic Alchemy. Moving on to whips. I have many. as per usual. This one is probably looking slightly familiar to anyone who can see me unravelling it below camera. This is the new normal by Longdog. It is my year-long project. I'm going to start it in March, but it will be a year-long project. It is a full-size sampler. I mean, it's not... It is a full-size sampler. And I am nearly, very, very nearly at 50%. So, stop grovelling. I'm just going to have to hold that up in front of me because it's too big. So, I love this. Love this so much. I don't often see it fully out because I just I keep it in rolls and I unroll to the bit that I'm going to stitch. And I never really unroll the whole thing and just look at it, and certainly not from a distance. So it's rare for me to see it like this. So what I've done since you last saw it is I've come up here and put in all of this and finished off the little rabbit and the little top of the bass guitar. I have no idea what this massive triangle is. It's a mystery. Then I came over here and started putting in this bubble here with the sort of Art Deco style fan leaf things. And then I've just started coming over here and started to do some of the filling on this bubble here with the fish. And I am jumping around a little bit just based on how I feel and what I feel like stitching. And I'm trying to get to 50% done by the end of July. Because January, February, March, April, May, June. Oh no, I'm off. That won't mean that I'm 50% by the end of the 6 months. Shoot. Never mind, I'm still going to try and get to 50% by the end of July, even though my counting is poor. Because I started this in March anyway, so I only have 9 months to finish it. So technically, I need to be 50% by the end of 4.5 months through March, April, May, June, halfway through July. I should have already been 50% through. This is bad news. I did not count well. Let's not worry about it. It's fine. It's still achievable with the amount of stitches that I'm doing today. So I'll get there. It will be done this year. It will. And if it looks like I'm falling behind, other things will take a back burner and I'll focus on this a little bit more than I have been. Because what I've been doing is kind of doing this when I don't have a lot of brain space or when I don't want to focus on other things, and if I wanted to just sit down and focus on it for a while, I could do. I just haven't been. So I'm not worried about it. It will get done. And it's going to look fantastic when it is done. And I'm going to be very proud of it. That is also on a 32 count merino. That is burgundy, and it's from Zweigart. Most of my fabrics are Zweigart. Just how it turned out. This is Sea Dragon by Nadezdha Gavrilenkova. She's a Russian designer, and she charts lots of very interesting things, but the ones that I love are these dragons. This is going to be an icy sea dragon. It's not changed much since you last saw it. I've just done a little bit more fill in, so I'm not going to hold up here for too long because it looks very much the same, but I have done a little bit, so I just want to show you. This is Azure Blue merino, so same type of fabric, just different colour, also from Zweigart. I love merino, love how it feels in my hand. It's, yeah, my absolute favourite fabric. I'm approaching this in a slightly different way now, which is that I'm looking at the colours that have the biggest chunks. So 939 I think has the most stitches left, and I'm looking at putting those in to try and get through big blocks of stitching to try and get it moving. I picked up something that I haven't picked up in a while, and I know exactly why I haven't picked this up. It's because it's 40 count and I find it really difficult to see. I don't think I would ever choose to stitch on 40 count again. My eyes are just not good enough for it. It is what it is. I have glasses. you've seen me wear them on occasion. I have them for up close and for screens. They're fine for screens. They're not quite strong enough for up close, but I'm absolutely fine with 32 count and anything lower, but 40 count is just slightly too much of a struggle for me, and I don't enjoy it. And like I'm stitching things to enjoy stitching them, so what's the point? I will finish this though, and then figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of this fabric, because I'm not going to. I won't stitch on it because it's too hard for me. This is really cute though. It's Flamingle bells. It's a hands-on design chart. They're a series of Christmas ornaments. There's 3 of them, 3 little flamingo ones, and they're all like puns on flamingos. Or just, they're not even puns. They're just like they've inserted the word flamingo into Christmas carols. Yeah, that is what it is. This is a Fox and Rabbit 40 count. Nothing against the fabric. I think the fabric is beautiful. I probably shouldn't have chosen brown because, again, I'm not massively enamoured with brown. But that's not anything to do with the fabric itself or the dyers. That's just that I made a poor choice. And I am now suffering from my poor decisions. So, again, never say never. I'm not saying I would never, ever stitch on 40 count again, but it would need to be for a really specific reason and probably on white just to see if my eyes could handle it. Because even with a magnifier, it's still a bit of a struggle. And I just don't need it in my life. Just don't need it. I'm really excited about this. This is my Mirabilia. I can't remember whether I showed it to you last week or not. I'm going to build up the excitement here while I unravel it. Basically, I decided that how I'm stitching my Mirabilia is that I pulled out the chart, I sellotaped some tracing paper over the top of it, and then I have basically left it out in my house with this tracing paper on top of it, and I've been marking off the bits that I've done, and it's not been folded up again ever since I started stitching this. Like I said, we're about to move house, so it's not an option for the Mirabilia pattern not to be folded back up. But it's tracing paper and it's going to go all smudgy. So realistically, the stitching for this needs to be done, at least on the bits that are like contingent on other bits, by the time that we move on the 18th of August. And we're getting a puppy on the 7th of August. There will be a picture here. He is a Dachshund Jack Russell Cross, a Daxie Jack. He is adorable. He's currently about this big. He's 6 weeks old. He will be with his mum for 3 more weeks until we can pick him up. Then he will come back with us and live with us. And he's going to be called Paladin, and he's super cute. But what that means is that there cannot be things lying around. It needs to be able to fold back up. So all the stitching on this needs to be done by the 7th of August. So I got to move on. And I also decided, after all the things I said about how I was going to stitch the skin tones of the Queen of Spades. So if you haven't seen this before, I stitched a skin tone conversion. This is Royal Games 1. It's the one with the Queen of Hearts at the top and the Queen of Spades at the bottom. The Queen of Hearts is all pinks and the Queen of Spades is all like teals. I have already stitched a skin conversion for the Queen of Hearts. She is sort of a lighter brown skin tone. I was originally going to just use the white skin tone, the original one in the Mirabilia, on the Queen of Spades and put in the blonde hair. I've been really knocked off with Mirabilia, mostly because of the series of Zodiac girls they've done. I know they're not all out yet. There's enough of them out though to see that not a single one they've released so far has been anything other than the standard white colourway that they do. And I'm really, really irritated about it because there are 12 zodiac signs. That's 12 opportunities to chart 12 different skin tones. And I was really irritated that they've released, 6 so far, and they've all been white, and I just think that's really disappointing. I will stitch the ones that I have. I may buy second-hand ones and stitch them with skin conversions, but I won't buy any new ones because it's not okay. And I just don't want to support someone who's not gonna put skin conversions into their charts. So, with that being said, I did put a skin conversion onto the Queen of Spades. I don't have to hand the colours that I used, but they are I guess more of a tan colour than a black skin colour. So it's definitely a paler skin colour than the one I put on the Queen of Hearts, but it is not the standard white colourway that Mirabilia put on their charts. So, just showing a bit of variation and a bit of different, a bit of the diversity that we have in our culture and in our world that they seem to refuse to show. So anyway, with that being said, let me show you what I've done. So there is the Queen of Hearts that you've seen already, and there is the Queen of Spades. And I appreciate she looks pretty white because in comparison, but that is not the standard colourway that comes on Mirabilia charts. That is a different colourway, and I will when I next show this, I will pull out my chart and I will tell you what colours I've used. And when I finish this, I will post my colourways so that if you want to, you can use them. Because it's nice to have options, and it's not necessarily easy converting skin colours. Like on the I'm in a group for Mirabilia conversions, and they don't consider skin conversions full conversions, which is fine, but it's not simple converting skin colours. It's not like you just put on 3 colours and you're done. Like, there's extra colours in here. There are more considerations than just like, oh, I have just changed, 3 colours and that's it. Like, there's other things you need to consider. And I did find that a bit, it did make me stop and think about, like, is that actually because you just don't want people to post skin conversions, Anyway, I'm really happy with it. I think it looks fantastic. I'm going to leave the brown hair in as it is because I think it would work really well. I think it would be a hair colour that would go naturally with the skin colour. And I think they both look fantastic. So that is the kind of the full effect that you get now. So I think when I frame this, I'm going to try and get whoever frames it to put in hangers so that I could potentially hang it either way up, depending on what I feel like, because I like them both. And it's really hard to see one if the other one's the right way up. It's quite hard to focus on it. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. I think it looks amazing. And yeah, I've told you what I think about the skin colours and how I feel about that. So, I hope you understand. There are other designers out there who are charting designs like this, but with different skin tones. So that is where I'll be spending my money in the future. I have quite a few Mirabilia patterns, so it's not like you're not going to see them. You will see them, but know that I won't be spending any more money directly to the designer on these. One more, and it is also a Mirabilia after everything that's been said, but I will also be stitching a skin colour conversion on this. This is Princess Elliana, which I love. I do, I think it's phenomenal. And here she is. I've been working on her dress. There's a lot of dress. Just a huge amount of dress. But I really can't wait to have this one done and up on my wall, because I think she's just stunning. And I got... Oh, I don't want to stray into purchases. I'm gonna stray into purchases. You've seen these already from thousands of different people, especially people in the US who got them first. But Almond M&M's, who is also a floss tuber, and if you have not come across her, you should check her out, because her eyes are fantastic, and she can stitch 1 over 1 on like 56 count. So she's brilliant. She is also a silk dyer, and she dyed a whole heap of different silks. I bought a selection. Here is my selection. My selection includes her skin colour selection, and I'll be using one of these on Princess Elliana. I haven't decided which one yet. I'll probably need to use a few to do the different shadings, but I'm excited. I haven't quite chosen. I mean, there's also, I mean, she put in the variegated one, and I'm really tempted to use the variegated one to mimic the effect of vitiligo. Yeah, I don't know, I haven't decided yet, but we will see where I get to when I get to the other half of the pattern and onto the skin, which will not be for a very long time yet. But yeah, I will for sure be stitching a skin conversion. Not just to make a point, but definitely because I think it's really important, and I am miffed. Not that I think Nora Corbett's going to notice and pay attention to how I feel about it, but I feel like if enough people did just stop stitching them as white, she might. So, you know, feel free to stitch your own Mirabilias with skin conversions. So that's Princess Elliana. I think she's fantastic. I think she's a brilliant pattern. You know, nothing against the Mirabilia patterns. They are fantastic. You know, we live in an age where it's really, really important to acknowledge and include diversity, and I think it's really short-sighted. It's really short-sighted not to. So that is how I feel. I'm going to stop now. That was a longer rant than I intended. I had 2 new starts because I don't have enough patterns on the go. So I just started 2 new ones. Fragments in Time, Tales from the Sea. I have this whale tail. I'm excited about the whale tail. I love the whale tail. I thought it was smaller than it was. It's not. It's 51 by 51 full coverage, which is actually quite big. And I did the corners while we were watching the end of Loki. Controversial opinion. I didn't really care for Loki. I didn't find it very entertaining. I didn't find it particularly interesting. It could have been better. Feel free to yell at me in the comments if you absolutely loved it. I don't know. They did those characters wrong. They just. I just didn't care about any of them, apart from the guy who loved to water ski. He was alright. The rest of them, they were just a bit meh. Could have been better. Not as good as One Division. That is where I stand on Loki. And Tales from the Sea is fun. It's really fun. This is 18 count, which I guess is like 36, but because it's Ada, I can see the holes. So I guess maybe I could try stitching on 20 count Ada instead of 40 count linen. After everything I said last time about never stitching on Ada again, I'm actually enjoying it. So I guess I should never say anything in these videos because I'm just going to go back on it. That's from Claire Brown X Stitch. It's called Pumpkin and it's glittery and it's cute. And I thought it would work well with this because it's like sunsetty. This is from Summer House Stitch Works, and it's quite nice having like a little paper pattern that's like handbag sized. apart from that my handbag is enormous, so like all my patterns are handbag sized. Didn't know why I said that. It's been a long day. It's been a really long day, and it's hot. The next thing I started was an AbbieSueDesigns. Bella Designs? It's AbbieSueDesigns. AbbieSueDesigns, one of her Disney princesses. They're so cute. There'll be a picture of what it's going to look like finished up here, which is quite important because this looks quite abstract. They are so cute. I'm really hoping she does She-Ra eventually because that is what I want. In the meantime, I'm stitching Disney princesses and I am stitching Tiana, and she looks so good. The green is looking really washed out on that. This green is so bright and vibrant, and on that it looks like pastel. It's really vibrant. You'll have to trust me. This is another Claire Brown X Stitch fabric. This is a 14 count Ada in Rose, which I just bought on a whim with another purchase, which I'm going to have to go fetch when I show you because I've got a thing to talk about with it. And I was doing this when it was too hot to do anything else because this is small and doesn't cover any parts of me, so I can hold it and not get in the way of my fan. And it's really satisfying. It's really satisfying. And if you like Disney fandom geek things, she has some really cute patterns. If you like dogs, she's currently doing a Dogs of Disney stitch along via Facebook, so you can go to Facebook and get the patterns for that. There's about to be a Cats of Disney one through her website, and yeah, it's super cute and it's stitching up really fast, and I love it. This is I put it so close to the edge. I know some of you are like, where's your border? This is going in my journal, so I don't need a border because it's just going to stick straight in. Also, this is selvage, so it's not going to fray. And I've got the pattern for Mulan as well, who's just going to go on this side because I think this colour will go really well with Mulan as well. So, Tiana, Mulan, cute. I kind of want to find a frog pattern and just put it like here. I think that would be fun. Does anyone know any good frog patterns? Need a little like green frog. Oh my god, did I get through all the stitching? I did! That's all my stitching. Let me move on to my purchases because I have some plans. I showed you my silks, which I'm really excited about, and they're lovely. I'm really happy with them. I was really sorry, throat dry. Dry throat. I was really kind of looking at Almond M&M silks. And I was massively pushed over the edge by the skin colour collection because I have plans for stitching skin colours. So I was like, well, supporting a black creator, it's supporting another Flosstuber, it's supporting, it's great. And they came and they're fantastic. So very excited to stitch with them. The other thing that I'm doing with thread is that I couldn't join a Classic Colourworks thread club. There just isn't one. I could join in the UK. It's open. I think they're exciting the craft to do one, but it's not open. So I started my own Classic Colourworks thread club. That sounds really fancy. I'm buying Classic Colourworks threads a few at a time, which I'm calling a thread club because I'm sad that there isn't one. Here's where we are so far. And if that looks really brown, I will tell you why I bought a lot of brown ones in a second. But I love Classic Colourworks. I really like the subtle variegation because it means you can quite easily swap them in for things without them being like, this one is half blue and half pink. So it's quite nice to be like, well, I can swap this one in for a brown because I can find a brown that easily substitutes in for, but it's not got too many different colours in it. So I really like them. There's also some really beautiful ones. Where's Fallen Leaves gone? Why did I start this? There it is. that's Fallen Leaves. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And Calico Kitty. I love red. Yeah, they're spectacular. And that one as well. The jeweled tealy blue. There's some really beautiful colours. And again, it's similar to my cottage garden threads. I can't do this without them in front of me. I cannot substitute in and without them in front of me. I need them to be there in my house. So it's gone out of focus on me again. Didn't like me throwing the threads at it. There we go. I need them to be right there in front of me, and basically when we move house, this will hang somewhere in my house where I can get to it and the dog cannot get to it. And I can basically go to my wall and be like, I need exactly the right shade of puce. Aha! I have found it. I call that puce. I guess it's kind of a straw yellow. Skin. Anyway, it won't be quite this brown when I'm done. I had to buy a lot of browns for something. This thing here, this stiff thing here, this is a piece of Bargello canvas. So I have a lot of yarn that I'm probably not going to knit with because I've moved on from that stage of my life. But you can use that weight of yarn to do Bargello. Bargello is a specific type of needlepoint where you make repetitive patterns with lots of bright colours on canvas. And I'm quite keen to try it. I have a couple of books on it because that's the first thing I do when I'm looking at something new. I buy a couple of books. So I'm going to make my own Bargello pattern, and I'm going to try make probably a cushion cover because we have a new house and I can make one that suits our new house. So probably a Bargello cushion cover. So you heard it here first. Bargello coming your way. I bought the it's the Halloween cross stitch magazine. I will look at what it's called and put it below. But I bought it for this pattern by Autumn Lane Stitchery. There are a couple of other really cute ones in there, but that one, which I'm going to put on this fabric here. And I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to look really cute. Really cute. But yeah, if you like Halloween, if you want to stitch Halloween, definitely go check out that magazine because there are a lot of really, really cute patterns in there. Not just that one, although that one is by far the best. There are a lot of super cute patterns in that magazine that it's like £10 for the entire magazine. No, it's $10, so less than that if you're UK based, but different if you're in the US. $10 currency. Money. It costs something. Just written down unicorn cross stitch. I don't know what that means. Oh yes, I already showed you the unicorn cross stitch. I just didn't make good notes. That's what happened. I got some other silks. I bought these ages ago. They just shipped from Australia, which means that they're silks for you, for anyone who's paying attention. Let me show you them. I'm sorry, they did come in rustly bags, and I have been keeping them in the bags to keep them safe. I feel like I'm running words today. I'm really sorry if you need to slow this down to like half speed to be able to hear me properly. I normally record first thing in the morning, so I'm a little bit like sleepier and chilled, whereas it's like 10 to 8 in the evening and I'm quite like buzzing. I've had too much coffee. That's probably what's happened over the course of the day. This is PR178 and it is incredible. I don't know why I started with this one because this one is the best one. We're only going downhill from here. I guess it depends what colours you like, but I think this is phenomenal. I don't know exactly what I'm going to stitch with this yet, but whatever it is, it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to put them back in their bags because it fell on the floor. It fell on the floor in the bags. It's fine. It's protected. I'm just going to leave it down there though for now. what was I saying? I'm going to put them back in their bags so they're protected and so that I know what number they are, because they have the numbers written on the bags and I don't want to forget. So that I can tell you in future, because otherwise this is all going downhill from here. PR145, which is the sort of tealy purple. Wow, oh my god. It's not that colour. The teal is definitely more green than that. Whoa, oh, that looks incredible. It's not that colour. That it's more like the colour it's showing up here at the moment. Even then it's not that deep. Jeez. That looks like a peacock. Wow. Again, not entirely sure what this is for, but it's definitely for something. And this one, which I have plans for. This one, which doesn't look as nice on camera, but is really nice in real life. This is PR163. So this is a mix of like pale blue through to like lavender, through to like a slightly darker purple. And this is what I'm planning on stitching my Modern Folk Embroidery 2018 Sal, so the 4-season stitch along. And I am really excited about how this is going to look, and I'm really tempted to put it on some pale purple fabric and have like that, just that really like not a lot of contrast between the thread and the fabric, but just like the variegated. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna look fantastic. I need to find exactly the right fabric though, because otherwise this will just like fade into the fabric. But I've seen somewhere it's been like just it needs to be like just like the slightest hint of purple. Maybe I'll get Sam at Chromatic Alchemy to dye me something. I'm holding it, but they can't see it. To dye me something specific, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like fabric that is just like the slightest hint of purple and then this on top of it, and I think that's going to look like tone on tone. Just like, yeah. So that is what I'm thinking. That is next year's big sampler stitch, because this year I am doing the new normal, and that's my like when I have half an hour, or if I have if I'm like, I don't want to stitch on anything, but I should stitch on something, then I pull out the new normal. That will be next year. It will be the Modern Folk Embroidery 2018 stitch along. They had the option to buy 10 hanks for cheap, and I was like, well, I'm buying it from Australia anyway, I might as well just get some. And I got some really cute ones. I got this bright herb orange. This bright orange one. I'm pointing at the pink one, but you can see the orange one. And this little cute pink one, and this cute green one. And I'm going to use this orange one for the pumpkins. Yeah. It's really nice having a assortment of threads on hand, so that I can go to my DMC box and I can pull, at this point, for most projects, I will have 50 to 90% of the threads already, which means that usually I can start. I may not be able to finish, or I might need to buy some more threads to finish, but usually I can pull out the thread that I need from them to start, or I can start somewhere. Or I can start diving into the other bits of threads that I have and pull other things to like mix things up or put something different in. I have one more thing I want to talk to you about, which is Deerland. And for that, I need to go fetch the thing that I didn't bring over. So give me 1 second and I will be back. And I'm back. So let me show you Deerland, and I'll show you the fabric that I bought, because it's meant to be stitched from Black Adrian and I'm not doing it. This is Deerland. It's incredible. It's huge. I mean, really, really big. But most of the fabric is not stitched. So, it's a kit by Adriana. As you can see, it's meant to be stitched on Black Ada. It comes with shitty Black Ada, it's really like coarse and horrible. And I stitched a project on Blackadder last August, and that was nice Blackadder, it was soft, but even so, you can't even see that against my background, even so, I had to stitch it with white underneath, I had to stitch it with proper light on it all the time. It was better off in the daytime, and it hurt my eyes, and I'm not doing it again. Just not doing it again. So, the Blackadder is going. It's still with this piece for now because it's cut to the right size, but Blackadder is not happening. What I have got instead, I'm really excited about, is this. This is Galaxy Print fabric from Claire Brown X Stitch, and it's phenomenal. And I think that deer is going to look incredible on it. I'm really excited. I think it's going to look great. And it's really, really big. It's like 470 stitches by 120. That is ridiculous. But like I said, a lot of it is not stitched. So, it's a big project, but it's another big project, you know. Just another one. So yeah, I'm really excited. And the reason why I have so many brown classic colourworks is because the threads that come with Adriana kits, and I have this because I've got Peaceful Street, which is another Adriana kit. I really don't like them. They're not smooth, they're not DMC, they're really rough, they're not nice. There's nothing wrong with them, like you could use them, they're perfectly fine. They're not as shiny as DMC, and they're just not very nice. Like, they're definitely like cheap kit threads. So, I have the means to swap these. And it's a really big piece, so I have the motivation to swap them because I don't want to stitch a really big piece with these. So what I have done, I ordered a load of classic colourworks in browns to compare to these so that I can swap in a few specialty threads for key colours that will be variegated to give it a bit more depth. That I'm really excited about. The other thing I've done is ordered a DMC shade card, one of the ones with thread. I can see multiple reasons that it will be useful. This one is going to be fantastic because I have the DMC I have a fair amount of DMC, but it's still quite difficult to go through the boxes that I have and compare these and try and find the right match when I know that there's a load of other DMC out there that I don't have that might have the right match in it. So for all the ones that I don't find specialty thread matches for, I will go through my DMC shade card, compare them to the shades and find a DMC to swap them out for. Which means that I can dispense with this entirely because I hate working off these. I can work off my bobbins, I can work off my specialty threads holders, and I can basically work in the way that suits me best. And I think that is going to be significantly more satisfying to me than trying to use this and trying to keep it as a kit, because that just doesn't suit how I stitch. It doesn't suit how I keep my projects. It doesn't suit my lifestyle at all. And I'm really excited about doing it. And once I'm done, I will post it. And if anyone's like, really want to stitch Deerland and I like how it looks, you will be able to swap it out. I'm not sure what I'll do with these threads because I'm never going to stitch anything else with them, but also it feels a bit wasteful to throw them away. I may make a copy of the chart, which means basically at the end, once I'm done with the chart, I would have an entire complete kit that I could give away, which might be quite a good or sell. So yeah. But anyway, that's the plan. I'll let you know how I'm getting on, but it's going to take an age to stitch because it's really big. So I'm not like this will be done tomorrow, but I'm working on it, and I'll let you know how it goes. The main thing at the moment, the two big priorities are to get that Mirabilia stitching finished because the tracing paper needs to come off. I'll show you the tracing paper once I'm done because it's quite fun. And you can see how I've worked. Is it interesting? I find it interesting, you might not. And to keep progressing the new normal because if I want to get it done by the end of this year, I need to keep stitching on it. And yeah, to try not to start any new things because I've been in a bad habit of just like, oh, I'll just start 2 new things this week, and bad Emma. There are only so many things you can have on the go at once. I finished a few things, so it felt okay, but now I need to finish a few more things before I can keep doing that. So either expect some more finishes or no new starts from me for a while. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found that interesting. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about. I'm going to put this down before I start waving it around again. I hope you found that interesting. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the things I'm working on and where I'm at. I hope you enjoyed seeing the pictures of my new dog. We're really excited. Obviously, once he is here and he is happy and having a good time, I'll introduce him to you all so you can fawn over him or be like, Emma, I literally do not care about your dog. That's fine too. You can skip those bits. I don't mind. And I will see you all in 2 weeks' time. It's been really lovely to see you again, and see you soon. Bye.